Kendrick Lamar gets a ton of nominations, but was Taylor Swift snubbed? I'm Elizabeth Wagmeister here with our senior music editor, Jem Aswad, and we are ready to talk about the 2019 Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
All right, so Jem, you're our music expert. Kendrick Lamar got a ton of nominations. Who else was heavily nominated this year?
I mean, as expected, Drake got a lot, Lady Gaga got a lot for A Star Is Born, even though the album was not eligible, the single was. She got 5 nominations anyway. Childish Gambino, who also doesn't have an album out, lots for This Is America, so all that's refreshing. Also refreshing, several big surprises. Brandi Carlile, veteran singer-songwriter, Americana songwriter, she came away with 6.
Wow.
And H.E.R., who everybody's saying H.E. what today? She's a new R&B singer. She came away with 5 as well, including for Best New Artist. Lots of surprises there, and a reflection of the greater female representation that people have been not so subtly calling for.
Who got snubbed? Who were you really surprised that didn't walk away with a lot of nominations?
Taylor Swift got 1 nomination.
Just one?
That's the first time that's happened in who knows how long.
Wow.
It was for a pop album category. She was nominated last year. She's not even 30 yet, and she's had either 29 or 30 or 31 nominations at this point.
So not much to cry about, even though she only got 1 nomination.
Yeah, and I think that's less of a snub at Taylor than it is a reflection of the nominating committees just wanting to go in a different direction this year and recognize some other people.
Right, bring in some fresh faces and some fresh blood.
Indeed. Also, 4 women who made a lot of noise this year, Camila Cabello, Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, and Bibi Rexha only got 2, and they were mostly in pop categories.
Now, how about Cardi B? I think she's unarguably the biggest breakout star.
She did great. She got 5 nominations. She was up for Album of the Year, which was very refreshing to see. I really didn't expect it. It is one of the best albums of the year, but the Grammys don't always recognize hip-hop, especially female hip-hop.
And this was a really big year for rap and hip-hop. Now, something else that expanded this year was the categories. There's now 8 people being recognized and not just 5.
Yeah, in the main categories.
The main categories.
Yeah. Album, song, record, and Best New Artist. And that's really refreshing. You know, it's a much more diverse, a much more wide-ranging palette. I mean, H.E.R. got that big look. And Jorja Smith, whose album was one of my favorites of the year. She's a British R&B singer, 21 years old. She's very big in England, but not quite so recognized here. She got a Best New Artist nod. So that's very refreshing.
Female diversity is up this year, and of course this is coming off of last year where the nominees were very diverse, but then the winners were not at all. And then the president of the Recording Academy made very controversial comments saying that women need to step up. That got a ton of backlash. So talk about this year and how the nominees look when it comes to diverse and female.
Last year's nominations were very racially diverse. The winners were not. The nominees were the most racially diverse in Grammy history, except probably for this year. But the female representation was pathetic. And, you know, there was, out of the 5 Best Album nominees, 1 was female. This year, 5 out of 7. And, you know, the 8th nominee is actually a Various Artist albums that includes female artists. That's the Black Panther soundtrack. I don't remember the breakdown exactly, but it's either half or 5 out of 8 in every category. So obviously they heard it.
Well, Jem, who do you expect to really win big on Grammy night?
The Grammys do often tend to go conservative, but at the same time, like Best Album has been a big surprise several of the last few years. 2011, Arcade Fire won, which, you know, nobody was really expecting them to win. Beck won a year up against lots of big pop records. So I don't want to predict who's going to win anything. I would not be surprised if Kendrick had a huge night. I would not be surprised if Drake had a huge night. I would not be surprised if Cardi had a huge night. And I think Brandi Carlile and H.E.R. will also get big looks in their genre categories. And, you know, one thing I noticed, rock is really dead. You know, there's just not a lot of action in the rock categories right now.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jem. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens on Grammy night. But of course, for all your Grammy coverage, make sure to keep up on Variety.com and follow us on Twitter.